There are two kinds of people in regards to Meshuggah. Those who know only bleed, and those who f up their brains by listening to all Meshuggah albums. At least twice. Hi friends, it's Andriy Vasilenko, and right now I'm going through a sort of detox. 90% of all my videos have been about Metallica, and every time I try to break out of this vicious circle, a severe withdrawal pulls me back to the band. But the time has come, and from now on, at least 50% of content of this channel will not be all about Metallica. Well, this is the last year of this channel being my priority project, so what I gonna lose, yeah? Will I manage? Who knows? If you wanna know, subscribe and make that bell talk! And today, I'm going way out of my comfort zone. Because, as the saying goes, fight fire with fire. And it is near. And funny that the band's name also starts with M. So, Meshuggah. I used to know almost nothing about this band until recently, even though I had heard of them for like 10 years, and for the one song, you know which one, Блядь, Bleed. But only this year I finally got to checking out their entire catalog. And so that gives me an excuse to talk things that the die-hard Meshuggah fans would roll their eyes on and stuff. I'm not pretending to know them well, and that's the point. Maybe it helps you start your own journey down the rabbit hole of Meshuggah. Because man, we have been missing out on some real dope shit. How many bands do you know that own some guitar or composing technique, who build their entire career around this feature without becoming boring and repetitive, but actually evolving decade after decade? Like people like to say that Armageddon is all or Slayer is all, which might be actually a stereotype, but you can only get so far by just galloping and tremoloing. And Meshuggah is the only such band that I know. They successfully use this one feature for almost 3 decades in almost every song. And the special Meshuggah technique is playing in 4/4. But with a twist. Yeah, 4/4 is the most common default time signature. But they can make 4/4 sound like the craziest time signatures in the history of mankind. Thank God that is the drummer, that he does some hi-hats to count it properly, while doing a complete mad rhythm with his legs. How is that even possible to synchronize in your brain? The guitar and bass follow the kick drum, combining their forces into the heaviest groove physically possible. And the brutal but pretty clear vocals are the cherry on the pie of groove. And usually it's pretty simple riffs, because shredding on top of that would defeat the purpose. Meshuggah want us to fully immerse into the rhythm, to engage in this sort of game. And so there's basically 2 ways one can listen to Meshuggah. Like this, and like this. So why does it work? Why does it not become boring and stuck and repetitive? If to make an analogy, what is Meshuggah is like Sudoku, you know, a game where in seemingly narrow space you can do endless amount of cool stuff, thanks to the power of maths. And music too is maths. So let me show it. Take a measure of 4/4. Screw this. There's a guy who would explain it much better. Yoga!
I got you, bro. I hope. Anyway, take a measure of 4/4, or maybe a few. 4 beats per bar. It can't really get any simpler than this, right? Wrong. Let's say we divide it into 16th notes. And even in this level, some basic brain-melting stuff is possible. Simply group these into some number, let's say 5, punch that distortion pedal, and you get a genty breakdown, which can take as much time to memorize as a whole Metallica song. Maybe not Justice for All, that took me a while. Wait, you want to go higher? How much do you want? You want 7, 13, 19? No problem. Yalla 19. Good luck, everyone. And if you think they stop there, you're in for a treat. Their drummer may join the party and do this. Or even this. If you find where the 4/4 is, let me know, because I can't find it and I kinda miss it.
But remember, the longer the groups are, the harder it's gonna be to feel your way through it, which you can do with the shorter groups. I mean, you can try, and I did, but good luck to you. I failed miserably. These guys rehearse so much that they get to a point where they just feel it and they can just play it freely, and they do live. It's incredible. And years of playing and teamwork made them the ultimate groove machine. It's them and Pantera up there. I mean, come on, their last album, The Violent Sleep of Reason, was recorded live. Live!
Well, this concludes our Meshuggah introduction. Stay in drugs and don't do school. Or is it the other way around?
Man, thank you so much. And to me, that's the real progressiveness. Not when a song is just a bunch of random time signatures. Well, that approach also has the right to exist and be enjoyed. But that's more of a sport than music, like when people try to play as fast as possible. While Meshuggah also challenges you, maybe even more than those bands who's just while remaining musical. I hope you get what I try to say here. And Meshuggah had found this sound yet on their second album. And when you listen to it, you would not believe it's from the mid-90s. And stayed consistent ever since, reinventing themselves each time and breathing new life into this formula. Some even say that Meshuggah is the most important metal band since Metallica. Well, I would not call them the direct successors of Metallica, I got another band in mind, but I cannot deny the impact that Thomas and company have had on metal. Perhaps the biggest impact since Metallica. And they have become true legends of metal. Actually, there are 4 criterions of a legendary band. First, they continue making music. Maybe not as good as back in the day, but they keep creating. Unlike some bands that release like one album in 20 years, just keep milking their old shit done in their 20s, now they are 60s, 70s, and blog covers on YouTube. Second, they stay a team. No changing members every half hour, no bitching and calling out each other. Yeah, getting along in a band is very difficult. Hard times and conflicts unavoidable. But if a band manages to pull through that, isn't that a sign of greatness? Third, they stay on the cutting edge of their craft and genre. They keep reinventing themselves and pushing the boundaries of music decade after decade. And fourth, they are really badass live. Well, 2 out of 4 would be enough, but all 4. I used to not know a single band with the whole package. And now I do. And still, Meshuggah is rather known in narrow circles. They are more like a deep cut, an elite of metal, in a good sense. A broader audience would still not really get them. But at the same time, I feel like Meshuggah are laying the foundation, maybe for another band to bring the sound to masses. Just like Metallica did with thrash metal in their time. Who might that be? Alright, I think I've managed the first session of Detox. Subscribe to Yogev, he is amazing. Even if you don't know shit about Meshuggah and progressive metal, his videos are for you actually. So what do you think about Meshuggah and this kind of videos? Which band should I listen entirely next? Because there's plenty actually. Thanks for watching, it's Andriy Vasylenko. Be in metal.